Guys, so this is day one, arms and shoulders for the month of June. You'll notice a little bit of a different setup for our rig. So for the arms and shoulders day, the lat bar is gonna be on the floor. We're gonna have two of the red handles up at the top in the lat bar position. The lat bar hangs out pretty nicely, fits in the curve right down there at the bottom. We're not using the lat bar at the top for the entire month, so the rig's gonna stay set up like this. We're gonna use these two handles at the top on a couple different days, so we don't need the lat bar up there for the entire month. So we're gonna start with our shoulders. We have tri-sets, we have 3 exercises, and we're gonna do each exercise 3 times before we move on to the next. So the first one is gonna be 30 seconds on, 15 off, 3 times. So exercise number 1 is a neutral grip or a vertical push overhead. So we're gonna stand on the band. Our thumbs start facing us kind of on our shoulders. We want our elbows in line with our shoulders facing directly forward. Nice tight glutes and core for tall posture. Exhale straight overhead and back down. If they wanna do a little hand rotation so their palms face forward at the top, bring them back down to shoulder height, press back up, and continue that movement pattern. Again, 30 on, 15 off, 3 times in a row. Then we're going to move to our rear delt. So the red lever is above our shoulder. It's right above our shoulder. It's not touching it, but it's about 1 notch above. For me, it's 25. You'll also notice that I don't have the black handles on the cable because we're gonna hold on to the ball. So there's a little ball on each of the cables. We're gonna start with our arms crossed, hold the ball open, squeeze those shoulder blades, your rear delts. So looks like such. Cross your hands, bilateral stance, exhale, open, and squeeze. Returning to that crossed hand starting point in between each rep. And then exercise number 3 is it's called a pronated low cable raise. So I've done this with plates before where you kind of put your thumb in the plate hole, hold like this, and raise up and down. So I've been trying this for a couple weeks with the cables and it works pretty well. So we need a black handle on each cable and it's gonna be all the way at the bottom. So I also found that I prefer to hold it with the handle underneath, and then kind of at the curve of my thumb, the black rope part kind of sits in there. So then hands start wide, bilateral stance, shoulders down and back. Exhale, you're gonna go kind of wide, up and narrow, and back down. Just like that. Keep your shoulders down and back. Exhale as you rise and bring them back down. If you have any questions on that one or you want me to show you a little bit better what that looks like, let me know. So that is our shoulder circuit. The overhead press, the reverse fly, and then that front raise. 3 times each exercise before moving on to the next. Then we're gonna move on to our biceps. So we are going to use the lat bar on the cable. So that will need set up, and we need the rope on R1, and the red lever is going to be at about chin height, and I'll show you why in a second. So exercise 1, again, you're going to do 3 times, 30 on, 15 off before moving on. We've done this one before. We're using L2 and R2. You're in split stance. Slight hinge for a flat back. Your hands start back as far as your shoulders will let them go. Exhale, pull all the way up to full contraction, all the way back, up, all the way back. So this is a much bigger range of motion bicep curl. You still want to keep your elbows tucked in nice and tight. Number 2 is a high rope bicep curl. So they're going to step back. Their elbows are going to be in line with their shoulders. Pull those rope handles to your ears, full extension, pull back. They can pull them kind of to their temples or their ears, just wherever is comfortable for them to get full contraction on their biceps. They don't want their elbows to move up and down, so they stay right in line with their shoulders. That's number 2, 3 times, 30 on, 15 off. And then number 3 is a standing bicep curl with our lat bar. So hands exactly shoulder width apart, tuck those elbows in nice and tight, start at your hips, pull the lat bar all the way up to the chest, full contraction of the biceps, full extension at the bottom of the set, or the bottom of the bend. Again, 3 times. Extended range of motion, bicep curl, high rope bicep curl, and then standing bicep curls with the lat bar. So that'll finish out lats, and then we have triceps. So for this one, the red lever needs to start at about the hip. Exercise number 1 is a standing band tricep press. So they're gonna grab the band, keep the band tucked in underneath of their arms, elbows stay nice and tight, and they're just going to press straight out, stopping those elbows right under their shoulders instead of all the way back here. All right, split stance, slight hinge, tight core for flat back, 30 on, 15 off 3 times. Exercise number 2, so we're gonna give this one a whirl. I don't know how it's gonna go. We do obviously have a modification for this one. So the client can stand bilateral if they wish, but I also notice there's a lot of chance for spinal extension on this one. So if they wanna go by split stance, that's fine. Hug their head with their elbows, start all with their hands as low as they can get them, exhale, and pull straight overhead as such. If that doesn't work for whatever reason, for me it's a little bit weird on one of my shoulders. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. However, pull them into split stance and do that overhead rope extension that we are familiar with. Works just as well. And then the last one, love this one. So this is one reason that these are up here. We're going to go supinated grip, tricep pull down. So we're gonna pull the handles, grip them, your palms face you, exhale, and pull straight down with your elbows tucked in nice and tight. So I don't know if you can see me from behind. I guess I'll face this way. Hands start at your shoulders, exhale, pull straight down all the way back up to your shoulders. Make sure they control that upward motion, big exhale straight down. Their hands are going to rotate a little bit just naturally as they pull down. That's okay. We just want them to start with their hands or their palms facing them. So there are those 3 for triceps: your band press, your overhead pull, and your supinated pull down with the 2 handles. Then we have a little challenge, and this is a challenge. It's really difficult, but that's all right. We can do it 2 times to start. We can do it 3 times to start. However you feel, just kind of read your clients. It is a plank walk circuit. So they're gonna do a plank walk, 2 to 3 steps to get them set up for shoulder taps, and then a tricep push-up. So what that looks like is we're gonna do a plank walk, shoulder tap, tricep push-up, and then plank walk back the other direction, shoulder tap, tap, tricep push-up. And they're gonna continue that movement pattern for 30 seconds. I have on the paper to do it 3 times, 30 on, 15 off, but kind of, like I said, read your clients, check your time, and adjust that one accordingly. Hopefully by week 4 or 5, you are able to get that in 3 times. Then we're gonna move on to lower body. We have 1 circuit here, 3 exercises, and then a little finisher. The first one is something everybody's familiar with, but we're not taking it away. It's our rope goblet squat. This is sumo. So sumo stance, butt back, sink, stand and squeeze. 30 seconds, then you're gonna move to the second one, which uses a mini band. We did this one last month. Bear crawl stance, hover, bear crawl hold, alternating donkey kicks. 30 seconds there. Then we're gonna drop down. Mini band stays around the knees, soles of your feet together, lie on your back for frog pumps. Continuously press those knees out as you do glute bridges and lift your hips off the floor. So you have 2 rounds, 30 seconds each exercise as a circuit of the sumo goblet squat. If you want them to get prepared and do that with a mini band, that's fine, so that they have a mini band for all 3 exercises. Sumo rope goblet squat, bear crawl hold, alternating donkey kicks, and then supine frog pulses 2 times through that circuit. And then to finish that one, they are going to do a heavy sled push on the S-drive for 1 minute straight. At the end, just 1 time. And then we have one more upper body circuit. So they are going to do something that we're familiar with. We've done them before. This again, 3 exercises, 3 times in a row, 30 on, 15 off before moving to the next exercise. Stand on the band. They're going to do alternating front and lateral raises 3 times. Then they are going to do bicep curls. Because we've done multiple variations of bicep curls throughout this workout, they can take their arms a little bit wider, similar to the concentrated curl that we did for the month of May. They're going to do that 3 times, 30 on, 15 off. And then the last one that they're going to do is a tricep kickback. So we want them to stand nice and tall for this one, keep their arms straight, and pump their arms backwards 3 times. And then that finishes the block. The shoulders, bis, and tris at the beginning take up a lot of time, which is really good. That's the point of the day's workout. Followed by a little lower, followed by a finisher for upper, and then we have core. So this month, core, the format is the same for all 3 days. We have 3 exercises, 45 seconds each, and they're gonna do it 2 times. So we're up in the game a little bit. For this one, they have an alternating lateral shoot through. So we've tried this one before. It is pretty tough. I actually had it on lower body day, but when I tried it, my quads were so shot, it sucked and I couldn't do it very well. So I pulled this one back into arms and shoulders day. So 45-second alternating lateral shoot through. We are going to start in bear crawl hold position. They're going to pull one knee under them, straighten their leg, reach with the opposite hand for their toe, their shin, their knee, their shoulder, whichever. Back to hover. Other leg shoots through and reach, back to hover, and they're going to alternate, trying to keep those hips nice and low, flat back, and their knees hovering off the floor. If they need to, they can put their legs on the ground in between each rep, lift, kick out, return to the ground, lift, kick out, return to the ground. So that one's for 45 seconds. The second one, oldie but goodie, hit their lower core, hands under hips slightly, leg lower to a hip lift, leg lower to a hip lift. 45 seconds, and exercise 3 is an elbow plank. So you'll see an elbow plank in all 3 days. This is the 3rd exercise for each of the core days. Just really want to take them back to setting up that good form, working on that entire core. Make sure that their elbow plank is activated, their elbows are properly under their shoulders where they should be, flat back, tight glutes, tight core. Don't let them clench, use their forearms, good breathing, all of that good stuff. So alternating lateral shoot through, leg lower to hip lift, and elbow plank, 45 seconds each, 2 times through as a circuit. And that's it.